Texture-Wasteland Workshop by Acrobatx. This is a retexture of Testarlive's Cleaner Concrete Structures Wasteland Workshop mod. Now, in order for this mod to work, you will need the Cleaner Concrete Structures mod to work in conjunction with this, because this is a retexture of Testarlive's mod. And Testarlive's mod was basically made to set out and show that it was to clean up the brick textures from the vanilla. The mod author felt that for some reason people learn how to make, concrete walls and structures but not clean dirt out of the concrete. So it is a welcome change and addition. If you like that, you could stick with that one. I personally like the original mod, but this one in and of itself is quite interesting. I'm pretty sure before they got to concrete, I'm not a aficionado of architecture, but I think brick walls was a thing before we came to the concrete conclusion. Could be wrong. So maybe the brick wall method or brick wall texture could be slightly more lure friendly than the original mod that this retextures, but it's all aesthetic choice and personal preference at the end of the day. And I personally find either one to be a welcome change. Both are very clean, very beautiful, high res, fantastic texturing, and it gives the Wasteland Workshop a much needed facelift, if you will. Is it immersion break-in? It all depends, considering there are already structures in the game that are brick laid and not concreted. But they also have concrete structures in Fallout 4, so it makes perfect sense that this does exist. If you like what you see, and you personally want to give your Wasteland Workshop home base a far better, cleaner look that shows that you are building the new Boston, then this mod, or its counterpart, is definitely for you, especially if you have OCD and want a much cleaner and better looking tomorrow. Robot Armor retextures 4K and 2K by devious methods. This is one of two mods that I'll be reviewing today. I wanted to incorporate them in my last video, but I found that it was going off the 15-minute mark and I wanted to scale it back a bit. Hello everyone, I'm here to share my retexture for my favorite armor set in the Fallout series yet. The robot armor really caught my eye, so I decided to spend some hours waiting for survival mode, giving it a full retexture from scratch. I wanted to closely match the original look while trying to give it a more uniform look to all the pieces. While doing that, I tried to make sure that all the pieces still look detailed and beat up as they should. I also tried to make sure the materials all looked more realistic, so I redid all the spectral maps as well as added much more detailed armor maps to all robot armor pieces. Now, this armor, as the mod author has stated, sets out to pretty much revamp all of the textures for the robot armor, and he's done a fantastic job. Not only does it come in 2K and 4K, so if you have a lesser, beefier rig, I would suggest the 2K, and if you have a really high-end rig, I suggest 4K. Something like a 980 Ti and up, a Fury X. Well, I'm saying this like if you're modding Fallout, then obviously if you have a shit ton of mods like I do, then you probably need a beefier rig. If you don't have something upwards of 100 mods, then maybe you could get away with 4K textures with the 970 and a light E&B or reshade preset without experiencing any major frame drops. This mod also comes in two colors. I opted for the black version, but there's also the 4K green or 2K green, whatever tickles your fancy. And I think the mod author did a fantastic job with this. So much so that I feel it is a must-have mod, one of the necessities, if you will. If you're setting out to create a Fallout that is truly immersive visually and has a realistic taste to it, then this is one of those mods you're going to have to get, especially if you have the DLC that is needed for this. The Mechanist armor retextured by devious methods. He'd like to take time to point out that he is looking for a little help. If you know how to add a cape to this mod, please contact him personally, and he'd love to have the addition to his mod. This basically here is a retexture of the Mechanist armor that he did to look more like the concept art. The whole texture is made from scratch, including brand new normal maps, spectral maps, as usual. He also did some small edits to the knee pads and the chest piece to be closer to the concept art. It's not a huge difference, but he does hope at least a few people who use this armor can appreciate it. feel free to contact him and let him know what you think. And I think it's pretty sweet already. When you look at the original concept art for the Mechanist actually looks pretty cool. Like, how on earth did Bethesda not translate this well to the game? Must be that bored old engine Bethesda keeps using. Last gen. In all seriousness, Devious Methods has set out to create the concept art, and I think he succeeded in what was available to him. So far, the textures are superior to the original. I do like the coloring and the look, the flavor of it. It's a bit more refreshing, and it gives you just more incentive to pay attention to the Mechanist's armor, in my opinion. Before I kind of ignored it. Now I look at it and go, it's cooler than I thought it was, thanks to this mod. Well, that's it for me. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. Thank you for tuning into my channel. I will work on a Fallout playthrough video as requested, and I'll see if I can figure out how to make an intro. Believe me, I'm not some editing genius. Trust me, ask Ziltex. My editing skills are on the par with the Bonobo chimp or the Rhesus monkey. But they had to be very well trained to edit as good as me. I just want that to be known.